Welcome back, apes. Hope everybody is doing well and that you don't mind a couple more video lessons this week. We're going to continue our study of fossil fuels, but of course I had to take a cheap shot at the oil companies for today's joke. At the end of yesterday's lesson, we noted that the United States has significantly decreased its dependence on foreign oil, specifically from OPEC. One of the main reasons for that is what we now call the shale boom. Our ability to extract hydrocarbons from the Great Plains states and all the way up into Canada. In those regions, we have huge deposits of shale, which are rich in marine hydrocarbons. Here you see a piece of oil shale that's been ignited. Instead of pulling crude oil from the shale, we actually extract mostly methane, CH4, the simplest of hydrocarbons. And we call this natural gas. Remember that the Indianapolis power stations have recently switched to natural gas. And one of the main reasons is that it's much cleaner than coal. We don't have to worry about the sulfur content. Oil and gas that form in trap formations can be extracted by traditional wells. But to extract gas from a shale deposit often requires horizontal drilling, and we have to fracture the rock. This process requires pumping high-pressure fluids into the seam. We call it hydrologic fracturing, or fracking for short. Fracking is controversial and actually is banned in a lot of countries. There are a number of reasons why it is controversial. One of the biggest concerns is that the chemicals used by the fracking company to pump into the shale might leak and get into the groundwater. When the regulations were established for fracking, they did not have to disclose what chemicals they use. But the fracking companies assure us that it is safe. They also make sure that the pipes that are used in fracking are lined so that they cannot leak. And you can see from this diagram that the fracking occurs well below the common water table of our aquifers. There is also concern about increased seismic activity or small earthquakes that result from fracking. It turns out that we think these are not caused by the fracking itself, but from the wastewater that gets pumped much deeper into the ground. We have ample data to support these ideas, and we even have cases where homeowners have had property damaged due to increased seismic activity from living near fracking sites. And though fracking companies claim everything is fine, we have examples like this one from the anti-fracking documentary Gasland, which shows a buildup of methane in local aquifers. This homeowner has been able to repeatedly demonstrate high concentrations of methane in her drinking water, and she does so by simply turning on the faucet and igniting the stream. The gas companies, of course, dispute that fracking is the reason for the excess methane in the water. And actually, multiple studies have supported the fracking companies' defense. In addition to being cleaner than oil or coal, another positive aspect of natural gas is that we can use much of the same existing infrastructure to transport it. We can use pipelines as well as ships, trucks, and trains. And natural gas is big business in Indiana as well. In the same places where we're taking coal out of the ground, of course, we find deposits of natural gas. And here you can see in the last 20 years, we've actually made a huge dent in the percentage of energy produced by coal, which was 95%, which is now down to below 60%. Most of that trade-off, as you can see, was a result of natural gas. There is one last place that we are still looking to squeeze every drop of fossil fuel out of the ground, and it's known as tar sands. It's exactly what you would think. It's sand that is coated by hydrocarbons. As you can see, the hydrocarbon material called bitumen makes up a very small percentage. Because of that, we have to extract huge quantities of land to get a usable amount of fossil fuel. In addition to all the harmful side effects that come with traditional strip mining, we also see that bitumen has the same problems as coal, and that it contains nitrogen and sulfur. So not nearly as clean as natural gas, and definitely not as cheap to extract and process. As introduced last week, the majority of tar sands come from Alberta in Canada. The Keystone XL pipeline is instrumental in getting the petroleum products to our refineries and distribution centers. And just a reminder, the main controversy here is that the pipeline is proposed to cross through the Ogallala Aquifer. And we see that the pipeline straddles numerous tribal lands, so it has the same issues as the Dakota Access Pipeline. Thank you so much for your flexibility right now. Remember to keep checking current lesson so that you're getting all the assignments that go along with the videos. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Take care.